Hi and welcome back to Subscription Box Unboxing with Bats, Cats and Broomsticks. Today I've got the box for the month of September. I'm sorry that this is coming out late. It was due to postage delays. So, taking a look inside, we have the same wonderful packaging that we always do. Beautifully wrapped. And we've got a little sticker. And we've got our challenge for the month, which is fascinating folklore, and a list of all the things that come inside. So I love these sweets, the sour belt sweets. They're amazing. I will definitely be enjoying that later. We've got a rubber added in this box. Last time we had a rubber in the box. It was also by the Derwent company. It was called an artist eraser, that particular one. I found that one to be super hard. I hope that this one's a bit different. We've got a pencil. It seems to be a relatively generic graphite pencil. It doesn't tell me what shade on the pencil, so oh sorry, yeah, it does. 3B is the shade on that pencil. So we've got our artist of the month, their little print piece, and this is by Tia. I can't pronounce her last name, I'm so sorry. We've got cartridge paper by the brand Frisk. I have had a lot of good quality paintings come out off of their products, particularly their Bristol board. I'm a big fan. So we've got a little bit about, so this is the catalogue. We've got a little bit about the artist, a little bit about the pens and the things inside, just previous gallery work, and we get these catalogues in every box, and it's always fascinating to see what people have come up with. So I love the fact that they include that in every box, and I adore the fact that they have hints and tips for you to use your materials with, because oftentimes we don't know what materials these are. We haven't come across them. So for me in particular, I don't do an awful lot with pens, and especially not like a felt tip type pen of any kind, like Copic for example, or alcohol markers, watercolor markers, any of those kind of things. I don't do much work with those things. I'm getting into it a bit more now that I discovered the wonderfulness of Posca pens, but that's something for a different video. So the pens that came in this subscription box are by the brand Faber-Castell. I had a set of pencils years ago by Faber-Castell. I found them to be so hard to use because the lead in the pencil was like extra firm, so it was super hard pencil lead, and I prefer a much more softer pastel like pencil without being smudgy, if that makes sense. So one of the amazing things about this tester set, or a tryout set so to speak, is that it comes with its own little booklet that gives you descriptions of how to use them and what else is for sale in multiple languages. So I was curious as to whether or not these would be ultra high pigmented, and I don't know how well they come across on camera, but in person they are the strongest pigmented colour pens with this felt pen style tip I have ever come across. The fine liner side leaves a little bit more to be desired. I don't know if that's because of the tips differences in the tip type, because one's felt and the other one's seems a little bit coarser. So I don't know about that, but the brush side, the felt side, has this exquisite depth of colour, and I can't stress enough how true to colour it is. It's so bright. which is something I was really impressed about. So you can see that there's a fine liner side. The fine liner side seems to be around a 0.5, and you've got your brush side. The blue comes up pretty well on this camera as to just how vivid it comes out. Then we've got a deep green, like a leafy green. They're so bright, it's incredible. The fine liner side as well. I know that on camera here you can't see the orange fine liner side, but it's similar to the other fine liners, just a touch lighter than the swatch itself. It isn't as invisible as it comes off on camera, it's just because the light is directly on that corner. So the pencil lead they provided with, graphite pencil rather, seems like a reasonably generic pencil, decent all-rounder, gradients really well. I have no qualms about it, it's just a good pencil. I wanted to try out the little smudge test and see if it blended well. It blends. I wouldn't say that I would use it for drawing per se, more like sketching. So then I wanted to try out the little eraser that they sent with us because like I said last time, it came through the post and the other eraser was so hard. I found it really difficult to use it on my paper without tearing the paper or lifting a bit. This is a much better eraser. I have to admit that it is much better for lifting your pencil sketch. I'm much happier with that. Overall, I have to say that I'm really happy with how that came out. I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you guys, whilst I just pan over the colours to try and give you guys a better look, that this video isn't monetized and I'm not being paid by anybody to advertise Scrollbox. This is just how I feel about these boxes. I always feel like they're great value for money, and I have consistently kept purchasing from them because I believe that they are valuable. And I found that more often than not, the supply I get from them is excellent quality at a much cheaper price than I would have had to fork out for it from various other art websites. So I do feel like they're value for money. I also feel like they have helped me expand my idea as an artist of what I can do and what I'm capable of, and what materials I'm capable of producing a good result with. So in the test out for these this month's box, I decided to do an octopus, and that octopus is it's sort of, my idea was to do fantasy folklore. I was thinking the Kraken, but I didn't want to go so far out and unrealistic this time because I wanted to see if I could use a medium that I'd never come across before and create something that's much closer to my style, my technique, my abilities. And I think that I managed something pretty well, in considering especially that these are felt tip pens that I'm just not used to. I believe that I managed to create a pretty interesting, almost watercolor-like effect and built it up to look quite a lot like my watercolor, well, one of the types of watercolor designs that I do. So it helped me see that there are more than one ways to get to that final result, that you shouldn't necessarily pigeonhole yourself into being just one kind of artist, and that there is a lot to learn about yourself, about techniques, about skills, and about mediums by just exploring what's out there. And I like that Scrollbox sends me that to my door, and that I don't have to be overwhelmed by choice. They just sent me something and I get to try what that's like for a bit, and that's really cool. So if you guys really enjoy the content that I make here on YouTube, I do try and keep updated with the YouTube as regularly as possible. Sometimes that's not possible for me to do every single week, but I am trying my best to keep consistently uploaded. Hopefully as this channel grows, then I will be able to pour more time into it and possibly even do full-time artwork, and that would be the dream, really. So if you guys like the content that I make here, please like and subscribe, and yeah, tell me in the comments down below if you guys are enjoying these videos. If there's something that I'm missing out on, tell me in the comments. I would love to explore some more art styles and techniques. Tell me what's your favourite art style or technique in the comments below. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed watching me make this as much as I enjoyed exploring this new technique. Like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.